It's nothing personal, Curly, but they just couldn't use you anymore. You are no longer the Goosebumps mascot. You're not going to be in Goosebumps 3 because nobody's going to know who you are besides the 90s fans, which thereof aren't many because they're dying. And also because it's a kids movie. What the? Hey, Curly. Oh. What the fuck is that noise?
That's reality. Agents on the job.
No.
That's reality. Life is on the road.
That's reality. Oh. Hey, everybody. Hey, let's go. And let's review Don't Go to Sleep. Yeah, Goosebumps are Dummies here. Back at it again with another banger. And, like I said, Don't Go to Sleep. A very, not insanely popular book, but the villains of this book are very popular for their very unique idea attached to them. And name, the Reality Police. Huge spoiler, but yeah. And the episode adaptation is way more famous than the book because JonTron reviewed it. Yeah, that YouTuber. Pretty cool dude, by the way. That video is amazing. So, how does the book hold up? Yeah, we're jumping straight into this one. And now for the blurb. It's a no-snooze situation. Matt hates his tiny bedroom. It's so small it's practically a closet. Still, Matt's mom refuses to let him sleep in the guest room. After all, they might have guests, someday or a year. Then Matt does it. Late one night, when everyone's in bed, he sneaks into the guest room and falls asleep. Poor Matt, he should have listened to his mom, because when Matt wakes up, his whole life has changed, for the worse. And every time he falls asleep, he wakes up in a new nightmare, ... Oh, scary! Don't miss the Blavity, everyone. This will review soon. What an interesting read this was. This is heavily influenced by dreamscape horror, and I gotta say, I thoroughly enjoyed this book, and I thoroughly enjoyed the episode too because it's wild, but honestly, it's not amazing or anything really spectacular, but it's still worth a check, alright? Check it out. And now for my upsides. The book's concept is amazing, and is one of my favorite ideas in all of Goosebumps. Basically, this kid is transporting through realities every time he goes to sleep in this room because it is not a canon event, if y'all know what I mean. And thanks to this, the reality police are up his ass, stalking him throughout the book until finally revealing themselves and their spy character, and it's just a really, really awesome concept. Do I prefer the episode's interpretation of it? In some ways, yes, specifically the reality police interpretation, but still, it is really good here, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Great concept, and I kind of love dreamscape horror. It gives this weird elements of extra fear because it doesn't feel real, right? It feels surreal, and it adds a surreality to it, but it allows the book to be a little more experimental and extra scary when it needs to be, because anything can happen in this dreamscape idea. For all we know, it all was a dream still, too. Yeah, it's a really, really nice concept, and I like the dream idea with it, and don't go to sleep in general. I also like how it physically changes the main character, which advances him further into the plot, getting around and stuff. He turns into a squirrel, I believe, at one point, and then he turns into a me, if you know what I mean. And then, he may or may not defeat all of this, shit, and goes on his merry way. It's a solid story, might I add. I like where it goes. It doesn't try to do anything absolutely spectacular, just a solid, hey, reality's shifting every time he goes to sleep. Let's try and fix it, which he does. Maybe. And yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this book. I think it is an extremely fun and entertaining read. I love how experimental it is and how different it feels from the average Goosebumps book. And yeah, I definitely highly recommend checking it out, and you might love this book for all I know. Also, Matt is a great protagonist. But I have some issues. This book is a weird mix of Why I'm Afraid of Bees and The Cuckoo Clock of Doom, which is kind of why I like it, but it also gives it this very strange feeling. This book is all over the place, and I kind of can't love it for that. Alright? It's not an amazing book at all. It is really fun, and that's what really helps the score, but outside of it being fantastic in terms of entertainment, it is not a fantastic plot or story. Sure, I think it's good, but nothing out here is absolutely outstanding besides the concept. The reality police aren't explored much, and I wish we did get more in this case, because sometimes I'm like, I like the ambition And I like how sometimes things can be left interpreted or unexplained. That's partially why I love Ghosts in the Mirror, is how unexplained that book is. But here, kind of feels like you need one, because it's just a universal idea, is that the reality police control all fucking reality, the entire universe. Or at least Earth, the time on Earth. It's crazy. And I wish it was expanded a little more, we got more info. And it's a little disappointing in that aspect. The story is a little repetitive. There isn't much expanding on the ideas and what you can do, or at least it gets boring after a certain point, with, of course, the repetitiveness. And, yeah, it doesn't go many places, but it's still really cool. And I'd say the first, 60, 70 pages of the book are the better half, but it's still a solid book, and albeit the climax is lame, sort of. It is a great read. I'm not trying to completely downplay this book, because I'm still going to give it a decent score. It's an average book. And whilst it has amazing entertainment value, it doesn't land very hard, it isn't amazing by any means. Yeah, don't go to sleep. Recommend it, but it has issues, like I said. Now let's rate it. I'd give this book a 7.5 out of 10. It is not amazing, but it has some great entertainment value and is absolutely worth checking out. If you like dreamscape horror too, where it feels less limited, or, this reality-shifting horror. But there's also some really goofy, weird ideas running here that don't really work. Also a bit of repetitiveness, not a great climax, and at least some bits to be desired. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and tell me what you think of Don't Go to Sleep below. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.